17104, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, touching lives with the power of internet radio.
Yes, yes, yes. And it is fleeting. It is fleeting. It's almost out of here. It's almost out of here. Hi, I'm Ron Chappell. Welcome to the all-new Ron Chappell Show. We come to you from Harrisburg, PA. The Ron Chappell Show gives an opportunity for residents of Harrisburg to call in to express their concerns. I'm sitting here with the engineer, Pastor Chris Thomas, and we have a very special guest in the studio. So first, let's go to our street report with street reporter Khaldun Rashid. Good afternoon, Khaldun. Are you there?
Hey, good afternoon. Greetings to all you listeners out there, and of course to the one and only Ron Chappell and Pastor Chris Thomas.
Bless you, man.
Here's what we have for you today. Capital City Music Hall, which used to be the tap room down on 2nd Street downtown, will be opening tomorrow night for its first day of live entertainment and a whole bunch of bands and whatever else is going on over there. They got a contract with Hershey Entertainment. They're using all of the Hershey electrical equipment, speakers and whatnot for the stage, and working on getting contracts to bring groups and singers and bands and all that stuff like they do at the Giant Center. So people don't have to worry about running to the Giant Center at Hershey anymore. We're going to be tentatively getting the same exact thing here in the Burg. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was what's going on at 5th and Radnor at the old softball field. Well, Harrisburg Parks and Recreation decided to use money from the Biden administration to beautify the community. And it's being dug up and everything, and new pipes and electrical and all that kind of stuff is being done. And when they get done, it's going to be a brand new field and basketball court. And that's what I got for today for the street report for the all-new Ron Chappell Show.
Well, thank you, Khaldun, and we hope you feel better real soon. And now we go to community announcements with Pastor Chris Thomas.
My man. Again, thank you, Ron Chappell, again, for this opportunity to share the 411 about the 717. All right, so let's take a quick look and see what we got here today, Ron. I think we got 4 quick announcements, and we'll be right out the way. 5 if we add this one. The all-new Ron Chappell Show. Again, if you're a candidate running for office, and again, you want a little more promotion, a little more public awareness about your platform, the things you stand for, and why the city of Harrisburg should vote for you. Again, reach out to Brother Ron or myself, and again, we would love to get you on a future show, booked as a future guest. So again, reach out to Brother Ron Chappell or myself, and again, we would be glad to give you more information about how to do so. The Harrisburg District is inviting you to their Harrisburg District meeting. Again, that's going on at the Faith Temple Church of God in Christ. The host pastor of church is Pastor Ishmael Garcia. Services are going to be held at the Shiloh Church of God in Christ, 5950 Dairy Street in Harrisburg. Also coming up here, Ron, Band Together, the fight against censorship. Special screening for Banned Books Week going on October 4th, 2025, and that's 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the East Shore Cinema. 2 more brief announcements here. Again, the all-new Crawdaddies. I'm sure you've heard about the buzz about the all-new Crawdaddies Trivia Night going on, and again, I think they're going to do a Martin night. You remember Martin Lawrence? They're doing a Martin night. Yes. A Martin night. Again, that's 6:30 p.m. Monday, October 13th. Again, it's Columbus Day. And again, you're invited to the all-new Crawdaddies for Trivia Night. Again, if you know about Martin Lawrence or anything about the show, again, your place to be. Again, the all-new Crawdaddies. Again, 1500 North 6th Street in Harrisburg. And again, there's going to be prizes for the winner. And again, in the passing and the transitioning, praise God, of a good and faithful servant, praise God, Superintendent D.R. Gilmore. For those that didn't know, praise the Lord, again, our condolences go out to the family. But those services will be held on tomorrow, 11 a.m. Again, that's Friday, October 3rd, in the sanctuary of the Shiloh Church of God in Christ. Again, 5950 Derry Street in Harrisburg. Again, viewing and visitation 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. And the burial is going to be at the William Howard Day Cemetery. And again, Ron, that brings to close our community calendar here on the All New Ron Chapel Show. God bless you, brother.
Thank you, Pastor Chris Thomas. Let's see, Martin Night at the All New Crawdaddies. That seems very interesting. A Martin Night. You know, I think I might have to check that out, Chris.
Okay, that's what's up. That's why we're talking about the All New Ron Chapel Show community announcements.
Yes, Martin Night. Okay, folks, hi. Welcome back to the All New Ron Chapel Show. The intro to the show is Summertime by Billy Stewart. And as you know, summertime is fastly fleeting away. It's almost out of here. The bags are packed. The summer's almost gone, so we do hope that you go out and try to take advantage of the climate outside while you can before it starts getting cold. Because soon, and very soon, a lot of you will be saying it's so cold, it's too cold, so get out now while you can and try to enjoy some of the greenery that God has blessed us with. Okay, as a lot of you know, it's election season here in Harrisburg, PA, as it is in a lot of towns throughout the country. But I'm speaking of Harrisburg, PA. We have a general election coming up November the 4th, where there are many seats on the ballot, city council seats and other seats. Let's see, judges in the Court of Common Pleas here in Dauphin County. That's on the ballot. City council seats, I mentioned that. And also the mayoral seat is up for election here on November the 4th. Now, the rule of thumb seemed like historically in Harrisburg, being a majority Democrat city, if a candidate wins a Democrat primary, well, they are normally considered a shoo-in for the November general election. But hold up, wait a minute, that is not always the case. So that goes not only to the city council members who made the cut in the primary. It's not guaranteed that they will be elected in November. The current sitting mayor, whoa, wow, say you got my eyes fixed now, my mouth don't work. The current mayor in Harrisburg is running for re-election, and just because she won the primary, and as I understand, she only won the primary by 80 votes, 80, by 80 votes. And so her office, of course, is not a shoo-in. It's not a shoo-in that she's going to win the general election in November. She has another candidate on the ballot running on the Republican side of the ticket. And we're not going to mention his name, but there's another candidate there, okay? And we're not mentioning his name because it is campaign season. And I say that because there are advertising fees associated with candidates during this particular campaign season, okay? But anyway, there are also write-in candidates that'll be vying for an opportunity to serve you. There'll be write-in candidates for Harrisburg City Council, and there'll be write-in candidates for the office of mayor here in Harrisburg. And we're pleased to have one of those candidates in studio today. This is a continuation. The candidate has been on the program, I believe, the last two programs. And so this is the third conversation in a series with a candidate for mayor of Harrisburg. We present to you the Honorable Louis Butts.
Whoop, whoop.
Glad to be here, Ron. Glad to be here. Just as a recap, me and Ron didn't get off at the finest of conditions, but the conditions it seem to be changing. Our relationship is becoming a little stronger from my consistency in my message, and I want to take time out to thank God for the road in which leads us to commonality and being in sync.
Okay, thank you, Lewis. Let me
I
interject this,
appreciate
please.
it.
Okay, I appreciate you too. Yes, we did have a rocky start in the beginning, but the road is a lot smoother
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Thank goodness. Now, okay, to reiterate, Lewis, for those that did not see you the last two times you were on the program, let me start with this question: why are you running for mayor of Harrisburg? And I guess ultimately, why do you think the residents of Harrisburg should write in your name for mayor?
Because the system is broken. Basically, our administration is dysfunctional on a lot of different levels. Our administration doesn't feel as though our nonprofits deserve the help that they need, the funding that they need. And when it comes to our comprehensive plan, our administration isn't using anything that we can measure. We have to have measurables. We have to use data to help guide our city out of this crash dive that we're in. And it takes more than just parties and events. It takes infrastructure. For example, the government is shut down. The government is shut down. That means there may be jobs that are lost, meaning there is a period of hardship, just like the pandemic. And I don't feel our administration or any candidate other than myself has a plan to maintain security throughout a pandemic or a long period in which the government isn't helping us to help sustain us. Now, during the pandemic, I was running and I said municipal Wi-Fi will help our children stay in an educational envelope, that they wouldn't lose contact. Guess what they did? The people elected somebody else who didn't care, who didn't have a plan for the children. Okay? And since then, the situation with the children still hasn't changed. And I still don't see a recovery plan for our children. Now, as a mayor, as a leader, you have to put infrastructure pieces in. The incinerator was an infrastructure piece. It means it made us revenue. And one of the things we're having a problem with is a decline in revenue in the downtown area. It's in crash mode, just like our city. The downtown is like an engine of a plane. Okay, we want to keep our plane up, but our engine is puttering and cracking, and flames is going out. You know, what are we going to do?
Well, Lewis, excuse me. Can we segue over to the election? To the
Oh, yeah, well,
on November
I'm just-
4th. Okay, I just want to ask you. Okay, listen. There are two other candidates vying for mayor. You know, one is the mayor herself. She's running to remain in office. Are you willing? This is a two-part question. Are you willing to debate those other two candidates?
Look, I'll.
Are you willing
yes,
to?
yes,
okay.
I will debate on any given day. I'm good at debates.
Okay.
If you looked at the last debates, you can see how composed and collected I maintain.
Okay, the second part of the question, please. I understand that the mayor, Mayor Wanda Williams, has said, or her spokespeople have said that she will not be participating in any debates for a re-election. Do you think that's fair to the residents, to the voters of Harrisburg, and do you think she should be willing to debate the other two candidates?
I do not. No. It isn't fair. It's not fair at all. She should be able to hold her chin high and face her residents and be accountable. That's the new thing, right? Is that new? Be accountable for the things that she's done, for what she's responsible for. When you run and tuck and duck in the city, you're running, you tucking, and you're ducking. And everybody knows there's no reason for that. Meet your challenger. Dan is on the inside. Both of them are inside candidates, meaning they're both caught in the muck and the mire, meaning they've been involved in what's been going on for years, meaning they should have some accountability of what's going on. Now, do they have courage to stand up during the 12th hour? Are they gonna stand up and face the facts in the 12th hour? Or are you going to run and let your people lift you up? As a leader, no. You go face those questions that people want to know. There's court issues. There's sanitation billing issues. There's the Broad Street Market issues. Insurance, parking issues. There's issues that there's situations that people are faced with, and we want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Both Dan, and I'm not afraid to say his name, and or Wanda needs to face the facts. And if they face it, we did have debates with Tony Cook and Mr. Lamont. But now we really want to see what you really have for the future. I've heard Dan and some of his concerns, but I really don't see any big infrastructure pieces such as the hydroelectric dam, the hydroelectric generators, and the river. Our infrastructure, that's an amenity for the city to generate revenue. Where's our engines at? Where's our revenue engines? What's gonna make us money, whether or not we're here or there? What the city is supposed to be taking care of us, not necessarily people. The taxes aren't supposed to be keeping the city afloat. The city is supposed to use its own natural and resources to maintain itself. Fortunately, God gifted us with a river that is powerful. We have to take our own ingenuity and our own wherewithal to make it work for us. And if we don't, we're the fools. And right now, the government is shut down. People are going to get, and if people are going to get, there's going to be a crisis if our government doesn't hold up. People are going to lose their jobs. Then they're going to have a hard time paying their PP&L or their Comcast bill. But in Harrisburg, if we have a source that creates our own power, then you can keep that money from that you usually would pay for your power bill in your pocket. That is the purpose of living in the city with proper amenities to prevent us from falling into total chaos.
So you're saying if we control that river, that water flow, well then there's a chance that we could
It's a harness. It's called harnessing.
harness it.
It's harnessing and maintaining it, and then it creates. We can have over 270 million annually just off the river running. I don't understand. Well, I'm lobbying at the Capitol now. I'm a lobbyist, and I'm lobbying for hydropower in central Pennsylvania. That's the most underused renewable resource energy that we have. It's the most underused. We can be a poster child for hydropower in the nation if we use it, if we manage it properly. We don't have to be at the bottom. We don't have to settle. We can create. And I want to move beyond the 8 ball. If you elect me, we will get out of this muck in the mire by creating new revenue sources for us so that we won't have to rely on the tax base for revenue. It's as simple as that. The other candidates and mayors before, they had tried to do something, but these candidates that we have now, they're not even conditioned to look for revenue sources that are smack in front of their face. I'm different. Our identity, we had people coming in from all across central Pennsylvania trying to give us ideas on what we can do for downtown.
Take me off the screen, please, Chris.
Now, Gettysburg, their revenue stream is their history, their Civil War history. We have a bigger and broader history in the Civil War than they do. Let's tell our story so we can collect the revenue. Let's tell our story, create our narrative, and show why and what it took to win the Civil War. We have the Civil War Museum on our hill. We don't even have a curriculum that feeds this victory story to our children in our school district. The disconnect is just mind-boggling. It's just the stuff that we don't use, that we have right here for our children, for our residents, we don't tap into because we haven't made the bridges. We haven't bridged the gap. I will bridge the gap to our resources and have those resources benefit our people. The 50,000 that live in our box, they need the amenities of a hydro generation, of municipal Wi-Fi, of a clean river to where we can boat, so we can use our activities. A city island, McCormick's Island, is 100 acres that we can use as an institute, a camping area, a riparian institute that we can teach our children about our ecology, about our environment, so they would value what they have. Then others from afar would love to take tours. Our environmental tourism can be a revenue generator. Our fishing can be a revenue generator. I proposed a Harrisburg International Aquarium at the post office. That's jobs. That's revenue. That's bringing families here to spend their money. That's how we generate. That's how we bring people to Harrisburg. And I'm from Harrisburg, and I know this. And that's my whole plan, is to make sure that people who live here benefit from the capital city. Our State Street needs to be beautified. We need to fix our bridges. We need to hire the people to fix those things from inside our city so the money can rotate within our community. These things are standard. It's not.
Hold that thought for a minute. I believe we have a call. Folks, the line is open, 717-889-7181. Hi, you're on the all-new Ryan Chapel Show with candidate for Mayor Louis Butts. Who are we speaking with?
I'm good.
Go ahead, Lamont.
Please turn down your phone. Who are we speaking with?
Yeah, this is Lamont Jones, Harrisburg City Council.
Hi, Councilman Jones. Go right ahead.
Yeah, first I want to say good afternoon to both of you gentlemen.
Turn this call up, please, Chris.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just turn your phone down and listen to the phone. Listen to us on the phone, not the broadcast.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. I apologize.
No worries.
That's better.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Actually, in a restaurant eating.
Understood. Go right ahead, kind sir. You're good.
So yeah, I just want to say first of all, hello to everybody. Mr. Butts, Mr.
Hey.
Pratt, Mr. Chappell, how's everybody?
Fine, sir. Fine.
All right, so I just wanted to just call in and just give a little 2 cents. And Louis Butts, I just want to say, man, I appreciate your consistency and your determination on getting your message out to the community and to the people. That's a good thing. However, not to push back, but I just want to, offer some other things to add to what you've been saying about the city and its condition. A lot of issues you're correct on. Money's being moved around in a lot of ways that it shouldn't be. We could be doing a lot better. And my platform was just that, talking about how to get new revenue resources into the city without putting the strain on the people. And that's always been a mission. But I just want to address one of the things that you said, that you were the only one with a plan, and I would beg to differ, because today, even though I'm not in the runnings, which people, if they felt free to write me in, they could do. Ron's touched on something about just because the primary is over, they think it's a golden ticket for November, which isn't true, because we have to really drive that home with people. Just because your name isn't on a ballot doesn't mean you couldn't be written in. So let me say that. Secondly, you said you were the only one with the plan. And I still have my plan up, a physical plan that people can actually read and assess on LamontJonesForMayor.com. It's still up. I'm the only one that presented something. I did a presentation on our housing stock, on how we can do workforce development and economic empowerment. That's what I have up. It's still up there. It's free to anybody to go see. But the river I want to talk about as well, and you're correct on that. We do have a powerful river. It's also dangerous. And the hydroelectric dam isn't a new plan. It was there on Reeves. That's what he had. It was an opportunity for him to do that, but it would cost so much because of how bad the river is. You can't just raise the river and do what you want. Back then, it probably would have cost $60 million to do. Now we're looking at $700 million, and our city doesn't have that. So I would just say, just make sure when you're explaining it, not just throwing those things out there openly so people can have a better understanding of what you're saying, which I do agree with. We should be looking for other resources to bring money into the city to take the strain off the people. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jones. And so we'll be correct. You are not a candidate for mayor in the November election?
Well, I'm not on the ticket, but people can feel free to write Lamont Jones in. It would be a great thing.
Okay, thank you, sir. Chris, do you have a question or comment for Mr. Jones?
No, sir. It's always a pleasure, man. Thank you for calling into the program today, man.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you. And keep your message going, Louis. Keep your message going, man.
It's you too, bro. Stay strong.
Folks, you can call in also. The number is 717-889-7181. 7181. Yes, Lewis, you're
Well,
going to say something.
I'm going to say a little bit about hydro design. During Mayor Reed, technology was different. And things have changed. And the how you generate electricity has changed since Mayor Reed. And the technology is just it's just more advanced in 2025 than it was in 1975. I've been looking at mayors all the way back in the 1800s that had proposed to harness the Susquehanna River. If we don't do it, somebody else will. It's not like that. New York will do it. They proposed to do something. If we don't do it, we're just not using what we have. And I think that's using the river is fundamental. Because if you're not into the technology like I am, then you really don't know. And it's all good and dandy. Everybody got a pony show, but when it comes to shove, Voith Hydro had come up with turbines that are just a lot more efficient than. We don't have to. There is no dam. These are just putting hot turbines in the water, so it's not the same arguments that we had in the 70s.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Mr. Butts. Have you received any endorsements for your candidacy?
Endorsements. There's a lot of people that had endorsements. That's all I can say. I'm not really impressed by endorsements. The only reason why is because there's many candidates who got endorsed and still crushed it and still, helped it in the city's decline. Okay, that isn't. I don't think that matters because they still declined the city. They still drew the city into the muck and the mire. So a lot of it's like almost a high school level of a popularity contest. It's almost high school level. They pick these candidates, but the candidates aren't worth it.
Okay.
they just aren't worth it. And some may say, look, well, Sharkey Lewis, but you're not worth it. Okay, that's fair. That's fair to say. But as time goes on, you will see that my ideas, my perspective on things are pretty progressive. I'm a couple years ahead now.
No, I'm not saying that endorsements will guarantee
No, they won't.
a person getting elected, because there have been many candidates who have received endorsements and they still lost.
Right.
However, I believe that with most endorsements also come funding. And running for office is an expensive endeavor. And so that's something else that I think should be considered.
Well, I count on people to look inside themselves, not as a group, not as a all the women love Wanda, all the gays they love Dan, all the black men they love Lewis Butts. I don't really want to get into that type of thing. All the fraternities love him. All the sororities love. No, I'm not impressed with that little dance. If you're an individual, when you're an individual, you go in there, you vote as an individual. I'm hoping that people have some stature about themselves and can, separate the oranges from the apples.
Okay.
And see, let me
Yeah,
finish.
please.
Separate the oranges from the apples and see the influences that these people have on making your life horrible, about taking a risk with your children's lives. How many there are people who are in the 20s now and say this stuff has never changed since I was a kid, and I said you're absolutely correct. Even the kids are becoming adults and seeing that there's still no movement left or right for them to go. Where are they going to get those jobs? Well, they wasn't on a cradle to career pathway to employment. We aren't doing these things. We're having more difficulties with crime. Our administration is not functioning properly and adequately. We don't get along with each other. We try to shoot each other down, and it's not going to work. I rather meet people person to person, so they understand who I am and take that risk, than not necessarily be involved or tied into any particular group.
Okay,
Harrisburg's too small for that.
let me ask you this. Can you name 3 areas of concern that the mayor of Harrisburg could affect and is not doing anything about it? You know, what is how is the mayor of Harrisburg neglecting the residents of Harrisburg, the current mayor?
Well, I feel when it comes to communication, we don't have a newspaper. We don't have any communication that we can get in sync behind. We don't have a radio station.
I'm speaking of the mayor's office. What is it that the mayor isn't doing to benefit the residents of Harrisburg?
Well, you have see, here are some of the things American influence. You said influence. Yeah, communication is key. She can have a priority to making sure that we reach our residents when it comes to communication. Okay? It depends who's in the office. We have strong mayor. We have a strong mayor when they have to know how to use the seat. They have to know we can walk up those, as mayor, I can walk up those Capitol steps and get everything that we need. But we have to, the mayor has to have the strength and the priority in their brain to say, Harrisburg needs a newspaper that we can make sure our people, our residents, are in the same message. We can have editors that reside in our city. We can have photographers. We have to be stronger at getting our message. Whatever we want to inform our community with, we have to be strong enough. We have to have that infrastructure to have it take place. Right now, we can't. That phone, everybody's on different algorithms. You're not going to get it. I'm not going to get the same thing you get. It's not going to happen. Matter of fact, that's more that a division than a togetherness thing. Everybody got their own thing. Concerned citizens, Everybody got their own thing that are on different algorithms. So if you wanted everybody to be in sync, you would not necessarily use that. Unless we had a municipal Wi-Fi, and then we could send a signal like that. But you have to have that. Other than that, it's not going to happen unless you have a newspaper, something that can educate our people, and you develop people to be those instruments that you need in a newspaper. Writers, publishers, you need those type of people, and that's how we breed smarter people. Smarter children, our community becomes smarter. Okay? It'll work. And it works. You put an aquarium in a city, they work. They bring families together. You have activities. Schools have activities in the aquarium. These things go hand in hand. It's not something that's from outer space. Other people, other cities have these things, and they're big dollar good things. They're culturally rich. Just because I'm saying it as a black man, that doesn't mean it doesn't work.
Right. Chris, you got a question or comment from Mr. Butts?
Not at the present time, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
Now I want to put a football stadium on City Island. These are the things that we do. I'm gonna shout out to Harrisburg High being number 1 in the state.
In what?
Football.
Okay.
So here's what we do. We enhance our City Island and put a football stadium with a Hall of Fame, because there will be another player coming up soon that is going to the Hall of Fame from Harrisburg. So we use that. As a man, I'm going to make sure that we have a football stadium on City Island with a Hall of Fame, so we can show all the people who came out of Harrisburg that influenced and had a part in changing how we play the game. I owe it to them, and I love it. And people in Central Pennsylvania know that, because I won championships too.
Yeah.
I don't take nothing from nobody.
Yeah. Enlighten us
When it
on
comes to that.
Enlighten us on the championships that you won, Mr. Butts.
Well, I was a coach
Okay.
for Pembroke Razorbacks, Paxton Pioneers, and we took titles. Did a good thing. My son went through all the high McDevitt. My son was a McDevitt quarterback.
Okay. You're also a veteran, military veteran, Mr. Butts.
Yeah, I mean,
And I believe that you're the only military veteran running for office in this mayoral race. What branch did you serve in, sir?
I was in the Navy, and it's important that men know that they got to sign up to go to war, and we have to train our men.
Okay, what kind of discharge did you receive, if I can ask?
I got an honorable.
Honorable discharge?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the highest level.
Well, but what I did and what I do and what I still do is to make sure that people are looking towards. We're going to have another war. We have to be serious about telling our young men, you have to go to war. You have to sign up for war. And you have to have the mentality to know this, you're protecting the country. We rely on you to protect the country.
So when you went in, I believe they no longer had the draft, so you volunteered, sir.
Yeah, I've done what I needed to do. I'm 60 years. I'll be 60 next year.
Okay.
I'll be 60 years old.
So you volunteered to serve the nation. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, and right now I'm volunteering to help my city be better. I've always had a responsibility to my community and my society.
Seems as though you're a lifelong public servant.
Well, and as a lobbyist, I push for those rights. I push for the clean environmental issues. Right now, I'm got things down at the Capitol now that I'm pushing for, because I'm a Harrisburgonian and I know how to make a bill of law. I know how to propose these things because I live here, and we need to teach our children that our advantage of living in Harrisburg, as a Harrisburgonian, we can get ourselves together, and if there's issues that we need, you can march right up those steps and present our ideas, because we're Harrisburgonians, and that's the advantage of living here. All we got to do is come together as a people. As a people, get on the same page. The paper would help us get on the same page. The bills, they can look at the bills. They can look at our times where we're going to meet and work in sync to get the things that we need in Harrisburg. That's how we do it. And when they disenfranchise us or separate us and don't allow us to have our own narrative to tell our people who and what we stand for and how God is involved in all of this, that does us a disservice.
Okay, Okay, let me ask you, what plans or ideas do you have to help get the youth engaged in making Harrisburg a better city?
Each area of the city, Hill, South Side, needs a community center. Almost like a Y. But this is free. There shouldn't be a charge for these children to get off the streets. If you live in Harrisburg and you live uptown, there should be a rec center, a community center that you can go to for free to get you off the street, have things for you to do. That's a disservice that we're not providing. McDevitt can be a larger central community center to where they have game rooms, a basketball, movie theater, a library, things that they can come up with. Have them create the environment that they would like. Have security there. You have to have things for them. Children are children. They can't provide these things on their own. It takes adults. It's our job to provide for them the things that we want them to have access for their future. Okay, it's our job. Has nothing to do with them.
Okay, there's another subject. There's a homeless crisis in Harrisburg. What would be your remedy, or what would you do to help do away with the homeless crisis in Harrisburg, or affect it positively?
Well, I would have the home ownership program. Now, we would house the homeless in a section of Hall Manor. We would have a section for homeless to where nurses can come, social workers can come, doctors we know where they are. And see, the thing about the projects is that it has heat. It has heat, and we would know where they are so they can get service.
Okay, pardon. Now, a lot of the homeless, I think that it's fair to say that there's a certain percentage of the homeless that have mental problems, emotional problems, mental problems. So do you think that it's fair to take them and put them in the vicinity of Hall Manor, where there are a lot of other families there already, and some families are struggling because it's a low-income area? And with a place like you mentioned, Bishop McDevitt School, could that be adequate to especially during the colder months, to house some of the homeless? Because I understand there's a camp that's been set up. And
Tim is doing
and
a
a
great
person
job.
running that camp is doing an amazing
He's
job.
doing an amazing job.
And we salute them. But we also realize that soon the weather is going to change.
Yeah.
And I don't know how good it would be for someone to be in a tent in the middle of January or February because it's going to be freezing weather. Go right ahead.
That's what I'm saying. If we move them somewhere where we know they got heat and we can and a residence, then we can have aid workers, doctors service them. Now, the people who are going to get displaced from that moved from the projects, we can get them a home out in a first time home buyer program. We can make some arrangements, and then we move them into their house, because a lot of people in Hall Manor in those projects have jobs. They have an income. All they need is the opportunity to have own a home, and we would provide that opportunity. It's home ownership, and then the homeless person, we can get them a job, and they can have a house after a while. It's a homeless to home ownership program, and if you're a Harrisburg resident, we owe that opportunity to you. That's what we owe, and that's one of the amenities of living in Harrisburg. We need to up our amenities. And that's what hydro generation does. It ups your amenities. Municipal Wi-Fi to up your amenities. You can keep that stuff in your pocket. And then you say, what is my taxes going to? These are the things that your taxes are going to without raising your taxes. The hydro generation will be a presentation project from Voice. It won't cost us any. So when Lamont says something about prices and he has no idea. He has no idea what I do. What he does is something what he does. But what I do is different. We're different we're different black men. And what he knows, he doesn't know what I know. It's just two different people. So don't get his stuff confused with reality. This is a different time. This is a different era of technology. He just doesn't know.
If there are groups in the area, Mr. Butts, that would like for you to come out and address them as a collective, are you open to doing that?
Yeah, I'll meet anybody, and they can.
And if people want to join your campaign, because I know that you're going to need campaign workers as other candidates do and will be utilizing, how will someone get in contact with you?
Oh, I have a phone number.
Okay, if you care to give that.
717-379-7558.
Okay, would you write that on the in the comment section of the video, please, Chris?
Sure.
Okay, what's the number again?
717
Okay.
379 5875.
And just asking again, you would be willing to debate Dan Miller or Mayor Wanda Williams?
Of course.
Okay. Okay, so there's an open challenge out there to you, Mayor Williams. You have a candidate here for that office that wants to unseat you in that office, and he wants to debate you. And so we have a question also for the residents. Do you think that the mayor of Harrisburg should open themselves up to debate the other candidate or other candidates for the mayoral office? Okay, yes, Mr. Butts, you're about to say something.
I mean, it's a no-show. If she doesn't do that, it's a no-show. It means that there's time. It's on October the 2nd.
It's October 2nd.
So we have a whole month. There's time. Get yourself together. Just get yourself together. Present and be accountable. Present yourself and be accountable. Hold your chin up.
Do you think it's because she don't want to debate? Is it because she's afraid, or she have nothing to
I sense
say
fear.
that she has?
I sense fear.
Fear.
I smell it.
Okay.
And Dan smells fear too, because he went on. He says he doesn't care. He wants to slam her to the wall. That's what he said. I don't talk like that. But that's what Dan said. He wants to he wants to show up. And I don't think she wants Dan because they're in the same muck and mire. They even have the same sign. Their colors are the same. They're in the same muck and mire. Those two, me, I'm not there. I'm not in the mix. I just want the best thing for the city, the best things for the residents, the best things for the children. They don't have baseball. There's a couple I have things that are evident. They don't have baseball for children in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The American sport, and that's a failure. The commissioners put all this money into a baseball field out at the boys' club, and they're pissed. And we don't have a 13-year-old can't sign up for baseball in Harrisburg and have it. It's preposterous. It's preposterous. It's crazy. It's crazy. And as mayor, I'm going to make sure the children have activities so we're not blaming them for delinquency or being a kid, fining them for being a kid. Maybe we should get fined for not being good adults and providing for our kids. Maybe we should get fined. Not the parents, but the administration. They don't hold no accountability for them being able to set up something that's safe. We had it when I could. Why aren't they as good as what the administrations when I grew up? They had stuff. We had outdoor centers.
Sure.
We had swimming pools. I went to states twice for swimming. Yes, as a black man, way back then. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But if the adults didn't have those facilities for me to use, I wouldn't be a champion. I wouldn't be the shark. If those adults didn't provide for me. So how can I blame a child if he wants to play baseball and I don't have it set up? So I'll put batting cages in Harrisburg, 3 different places where they can hit all winter, just hitting the balls. Just if you want a baseball player, you have them hit year round, but they have to have facilities. Harrisburg doesn't have those type of facilities, so we're not promoting baseball. Meaning, we can't have a kid that is good enough to get on the baseball team, the Senators. No! We should have a group of children graduating and playing for our city team. See what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
That stuff is supposed to make sense, but we have the administrations that don't try to connect the dots on squat. No dots. There's no dot connections. It's only, I don't even know what's going on. But it's sad. And it's time that we make a change. I'm not bought by big dollars. My concern is our jobs. Our streets are being done. Our sidewalks are being done. But nobody from Harrisburg is doing them.
Vocational school.
Let's make it happen. This is my point. That's my point. There's nothing happening. There's no synergy.
What's this school?
There's no momentum.
What's the vacant high school up here?
William Penn was
William
Penn was Votech.
How about what was it? It seemed like
Yes.
There'd be a good place for
It would be ideal. If I was mayor, we would have a Votech school, and our children would be going to Harrisburg Votech and not Dauphin County Votech because of the racism. Okay? Look. I heard all the stories. I get it. But no. Harrisburg needs to be self-contained. We need to have agricultural. Use the Amish to rebuild. See, the Amish told me that they asked Mayor Wanda, can they rebuild the Broad Street Market for free?
And what was the response?
Oh no. And now you know they wanted their contractors to get it. That's what the delay was. The delay in the Broad Street Market was Mayor Wanda not wanting the Amish people to get her done.
Well, the Amish has been known to erect houses in one day.
They're not.
And they were willing to do it free.
This is what I'm saying.
And so the mayor wanted to wait to have certain contractors get the job.
Scratch the back.
Okay.
Scratch your back. I scratch my back.
Okay. We have come to a close. Time has ran out on this particular show. One closing word, Mr. Butts.
I'm saying tune in next week. We're going to have some clips of the debates between the candidates in the general, and we're going to clip them up. So at least we have some clips of Wanda and what she wants to do, or what she as well as Dan if he doesn't show up, as well as anybody else whoever wants to see a clip of what they got.
Okay, I want to thanks folks. Thank you folks for taking time to view the video. I want to thank the engineer, Pastor Chris Thomas. I want to thank the street reporter, Khaldun Rashid. And most of all, I want to thank our very, very special guest who just confirmed that he will be here in the studio for part 4 next Thursday. So we do hope that you will join us. We do hope that you will have your questions ready for the candidate for Harrisburg mayor. He also said that he's willing to debate
Toe to toe.
the current mayor and the other candidate for office. And if you want to contact him or if you want to be part of his campaign, we have the number 717-379-5874. That's 717-379-5874. And you can be a part of the Lewis Butts for Mayor Write-In campaign. So thank you, Mr. Lewis Butts.
It's 5875.
5875.
379-5875.
Is that corrected? 379-5875 is the correct number.
Sometimes you got to correct. Sometimes you got to get corrected.
There's nothing wrong with
There's
that.
nothing wrong with that. Amen.
I'm always willing to accept
Amen.
constructive criticism. Okay, folks, thanks for watching.
Go
Have a great
Harrisburg.
day.
Go Harrisburg High.
Go Harrisburg High.
Go Harrisburg High.
All right, okay.
Right.
You get a lot of information there.
Yeah, you know what?